This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Now, as you know, the 10th edition of Warhammer 40K has finally hit the stores, and it's been out a little bit more, over a week now. The pre-order was a huge success. Well, I did not participate, so the first time in 9 different editions I didn't participate. I did not pick it up. I boycotted it. As a matter of fact, I pretty much have cleared out everything I have to do with Warhammer 40K. So why would I do this after so many editions and a wildly successful edition that the 10th edition has been? Well, as people are starting to find out, this game is broken yet once again, but this time right out of the box. Okay? They have taken and they have screwed up more rules and made things, and when they made that public ahead of time and as confident as they felt, it just seemed like the same old story time after time, and every single time I have fallen for it, and just this time I just wasn't going to stand anymore. It felt like, okay, different poses and different models for the Marines. Okay, maybe some different models and a couple different poses for the Tyrannid, but it was the same old thing. It felt like the same old thing again. There's no originality to it. Them thinking they cleaned up and tightened up rules have just made things a mess. The game is not fun anymore, and it hasn't been fun for a very, very long time. A lot of us run out and go buy that set, and then it sits. It sits on our shelves a lot of times in those piles of shame. Yeah, we'll buy a combat patrol or a box set or so forth and so on and put it together, and we'll find some kind of fascinating army that they'll release with some codex. But in all honesty, when they don't even come out with the codexes or any kind of army list inside the box, and they say, well, you can get this online. Well, if you're going to pay that kind of money, don't you think you at least have those 2 armies inside that box? You know, the stats for them and everything like that. Instead, you've got to print them out. You've got to waste your ink and your paper. You've got to, laminate them your way. Okay? Instead of having it all done by them as it should have been done. This seems like just a big smokescreen. It was just a big marketing ploy. Let's throw 10th edition on something and do what it can. People are always going to buy this, okay? Because they're going to want to paint these models. And all the big painting channels out there live and breathe by Games Workshop models. Let's face it, they are the best models out there, okay? But I remember one of the guys high up at Games Workshop telling me what the philosophy is. We are not a game. We are a hobby. Okay? And it's all about the models. It's what they build around the models to try to push them even further. But their main objective is to sell models, to get people to paint and enjoy the hobby. 90% of the people that paint, and there are some fantastic painters out there, do not play this game. They don't play this game. They have no intention of playing this game, but they are going to do their paint videos, and they're going to do fantastic, and people are going to follow them and are going to love what they do, and it's justifiable. It's justifiable because they create what is given to them, and these models are beautiful, but there's no substance there anymore. And people like me that have been around from the very beginning, okay, that have been there, that have sat through edition after edition. What happens to us is that we try to remember a better day. We try to grasp on to that from a long time ago, and we hold on to those things, hoping that those days will come back. The lore of the orcs, the lore of the Tyranid, the lore of the Space Marines. Those are the things that older people like myself remember, and that have been around Games Workshop for so long. We remember those beginning days. We remember what are the stories, the old world and everything with, the fantasy old world, and then of course 40K, and how just original it was and how well done it was. And then it just became this thing where it became a cycle of doom. And that's what it's come to. And for the first time ever, I've actually missed an edition. The 10th edition. And as much as it bothers me, is as much as there's this just feeling of relief that I was able to walk away. It's not going to take up room on my limited shelving. It's not going to be me buying every model out there and then just not getting disgusted with the game. It's liberating in a way, and yet also sad in a lot of ways. The very, very, very bitter pill to swallow, and yet very calming in a lot of ways, knowing that I'm just not going to do this anymore. And listen, I love Blood Bowl, I love Warhammer Quest, I love Necromunda, Kill Team, Warcry. I like the smaller imprint now, and even those things get broken after a while. But I've gone to different things. Conquest, Infinity. It's almost, you see what they do and what they put into this and why I go there. Okay? It's not that big corporate feel. They want people to play their game. They want to do the right things. They want to create games that you are going to play. And they do. They are creating worlds. And if you stick with them and hang in there like I'm doing, and I'm starting to see things, and I look at Games Workshop differently. If they come out with the old world, of course I'm going to be all over it. And if they, in the 11th edition, that they go back and they make it a game again, I'll be there. But right now, no, I'm not doing it. And I'd rather remember what I used to play than to keep on going and burning myself time after time after time. And it's okay. It's made for a different generation. And maybe these generations really, really enjoy this. But this is not very good, in my opinion. And my opinion doesn't mean much. This is a company that is a modeling hobby. That's what it comes down to. And even their paints are starting to fall behind too. There's a lot of things going in the wrong direction. And you hope and you pray that they, this is a great company. I mean, they are making hand over fist with this. And they met the supply demand. They did. They did a great job with this. But when people have been starting to play it and are just like, wow, this just isn't good. It just validates me just staying away from what I feel is a game that just isn't a game anymore and isn't fun. I would love to hear your comments, good and bad, of course, constructively. Let me know what you think. And until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.